I can say that in December 2024, we sold around $25,000. And this December 2025, 3 months after starting with Carbon Box Media, we sold around $118,000. All the ideas and all the strategies that were suggested by Carbon Box Media made a lot of sense. Carbon Box Media is very professional. They have a good team in place. Team is well structured in the sense that they can take care of everything related to meta ads, from creating the ads itself to then running the campaigns, and also updating your website and creating landing pages, etc. It is a very good bet, and I can recommend Carbon Box Media for every brand.
All right, sweet. Let's get into it. So Luis, thank you for being here. Could you start things off by briefly introducing yourself and your role in Monochrome Bible?
My name is Luis Ferro. I'm a Portuguese citizen, but I'm currently living in Paris. I own 2 e-commerce stores, Monochrome Books and Monochrome Bible, and we sell books printed on black paper with iTink, and we sell it all over the world. This is a project that started 4 years ago. It has been growing steadily, very successfully. And since the beginning, our focus has been on e-commerce and using social media, more specifically meta ads, as a way to publicize our brands and our products. So as any entrepreneur knows, you start slowly, you start all alone, and you have to do every single task by yourself in order to save money. I mean, every entrepreneur goes through that process. And frankly, it's difficult, but I think it is also rewarding and important in the sense that you learn so much about all the different aspects of the business. And it gives you also, this global view of the business and how every single piece needs to come together in order to make things work. I believe that it is important that every entrepreneur goes through this stage, because it gives you, a know-how that is very, very difficult to do it. But there comes a time when you become overwhelmed if things start to work well. I mean, if you are handling accounting, the creative process, in my case, printing of the books, and also all the interaction, customer support, and then also to manage social media, meta ads, etc. There comes a point when it starts to become overwhelming. And it is also a point where you have to think about it, clearly, that's okay, the idea is working, there is a lot of demands, and now it is time to grow. And you have to think about what exactly are what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. I mean, the creative process is something that you cannot outsource, of course, because that's the brand. You have the connection to your customers. No one knows better than you, the entrepreneur who has built this from scratch and who has always been in contact with your customers, what they want and what they need and what type of product you want to deliver. That is irreplaceable. But there are other aspects of your business where you have consultants that have done the same process that you are doing before with others. And if they are good, I mean, if they have the know-how and they are experienced, they can do a better job than you can, because they are just focused on a single area. And in the long term, it will be very profitable for you, and they will help you grow your brand and your business. So there was this time where everything was running very smoothly. I mean, every aspect of my business was already in place and it was running well. So there came a time when I decided it was time to look for serious assistance in certain areas of my business. And one of them was, of course, Meta ads, and also an upgrade to all my websites, because I designed the website myself, and it was very amateurish in the beginning. It was okay, but there comes a time when you have to move on. And so I started working with Carbon Box Media, and things have been going very well.
Luis, you answered about 3 of the questions I was going to ask you in that one answer. So I appreciate the very in-depth response. The question I want to ask you is, you were sort of doing everything yourself, which is fine. And I totally agree with you. I think every entrepreneur should be in the trenches. They should understand what works within their business before they outsource talent to fix that sort of business or expand on that sort of business. And so what made you go with us when we had our first initial conversation? I know we started with Meta ads, but what was the deciding factor that made you go with us in the beginning?
Well, first of all, I already have been conducting Meta ads campaign by myself. So I knew in some depth how Meta ads work. So I was in a position to judge if somebody or in some agency has a real expertise, and if they can if they are really basically if they are just talk, or if they really have some type of know-how there. And in our initial conversations, we discussed the types of campaigns that I was having in place, and we discussed what type of alternatives were and how we could progress with the campaigns, and all the ideas and all the strategies that were suggested by Carbon Box Media made a lot of sense. And also one of the reasons why I went ahead with Carbon Box Media was that this was, it was not a definitive decision from my part, in the sense that if things didn't work out, we could try a couple of months, and then if by any chance things would fail, because sometimes there is no match, then it happens. Sometimes it's not just a matter of competence. Then we will just stop working together, and everything would be fine. So from my point of view, the risk was relatively low.
That makes sense. Appreciate you answering that. Next question I got for you is, you took the risk. We've been working together for a few months now. Things have really started to scale, which is awesome. I took a look at the account, and I think we're at a 7.67x ROAS, and we're scaling spend with that high return on ad spend, which is awesome. And so I'm totally bragging a little bit here on my end, but post the risk, we started working together, and we've been working together for a while now. Can you describe sort of your overall experience of working with us? How do you like the team? How do you like working with us? The communication, obviously the results. You said something earlier where, yes, results are important, but also you need to have sort of that, for lack of better words, company culture. You actually want to work with a certain type of person. You actually want to work with a certain type of team. And so can you describe the overall experience of just what it's been like working with us?
Mm-hmm. So basically, I have been working with Carbon Box Media in 2 areas. The first is Meta ads. The second one has been in the development of our website. Both have been going very well. And first of all, the team is very professional, very knowledgeable. I find that they are able to not only accommodate my requests, but also go a step above that, in the sense that the team suggests new approaches, new ways of doing things that are very, very helpful. So it's this type of synergy that generates more than the sum of the parts, and that is very, very important. Also, there has been a very good, maybe for lack of better words, synchronization between the Meta ads and the new websites. So, and that has also been very positive, because in the sense that you need to take, a holistic approach to all the aspects of the business. And that I find very helpful in Carbonbox Media. The team has been very good.
Well, thank you, Luis. I appreciate the kind words. And this is the last question I ask you, I promise. But to those watching home, they're on their phone, they're on their computer, they maybe saw an Instagram post, an ad, an email, maybe they just found us organically, and they're considering working with us, or they're at least considering booking a call with us. What would you say to those watching at home that are unsure about booking a call with us or working with us?
So typically there will be two types of entrepreneurs. The first one will be the one who has been doing everything by himself. The second one, somebody who might have already tried a consultant or another agency, and they were not happy with the results. For the first entrepreneur, I would say that meta ads or social media has become extremely difficult nowadays. I mean, when it started, meta ads, it was relatively easy and straightforward, and there was not so much competition, and and things were a little bit. An amateur could have very good results. Okay, the problem with meta ads is first, they're always changing. They're always launching a new update. There are always bugs, and every 3 months, everything changes completely, and you need to be on top of the game. And if you're an entrepreneur trying to do everything at once, what happens is that every 3 months or so, you have to stop and try to understand and to learn again how Meta is handling things. And it depends how busy you are. Frankly, I don't have the time right now to go through the process again and again and again. And then to put things on hold while I try to get myself updated again on Meta ads. So for me, it's a peace of mind. I can focus on other things. So this is the first case of the entrepreneur who has never used an agency. The second case, somebody who used other agencies before or other consultants. I would say that Carbonbox Media is very professional. They have a good team in place. Team is well structured in the sense that they can take care of everything related to meta ads, from creating the ads itself to then running the campaigns, and also updating your website and creating landing pages, etc. It is a very good bet, and I can recommend Carbonbox Media for every brand.
Do you mind sharing the numbers you were doing right when you hired us and the numbers that you're doing now in regards to how much we've scaled you on a monthly basis?
Our strongest month is December because it's a seasonal product. I can say that in December 2024, we sold around $25,000. And this December 2025, 3 months after starting with Carbonbox Media, we sold around $118,000. So 4.5 times increase in revenue, a little bit more, all the time keeping a very, very acceptable ROAS on meta ads. So everything is looking good.
And we're just getting started.
And we're just getting started.
All right, Luis, I appreciate you. For the viewers watching at home, this is Luis Ferro. You pronounce it the Portuguese way, and I'm an American, so hopefully I got that right. Probably didn't. But if somebody's watching this, where can somebody find your products?
We have a Shopify website. It's called Monochrome Bible. We have a fulfillment center in Pennsylvania, and shipping to the continental US takes usually between 2 and 4 business days.
Beautiful. Awesome, Luis. Thanks so much.
Okay.
And that's it. You're the man. Thank you, Luis.
All the best.